Now we're going to look at how to find the median, mode, and range of a set of data. Well, first we need to talk about what they are. A median is a middle number in a set of data. It is physically the middle number in a set of data when you put them in order least to greatest. Now you have to make sure that you put them in order from least to greatest before you find that middle number, okay? That's how we find a median. It's like the median in the road goes down the middle. The median is the middle number in a set of data. A mode is the number that occurs the most often. It's repeated the most. A lot of times I like to say mode, most. Helps you remember that the mode is the one that's repeated the most. The median is the middle. And then the range, you find range by taking the biggest number in your set of data and subtracting the smallest number in your set of data. That's all you have to do. Range is the biggest minus the smallest. Okay, so now we're going to look at this set of data that we have here, and we're going to find each of these three things: the median, the mode, and the range. So to find the median, the first thing that we have to do is we have to take this set of data and we have to put it in order from least to greatest. So the least number in our set of data is 10, then 12, then we have another 12, then 18, and then our largest number is 21. So the very first thing that we do when finding the median is put the numbers in order least to greatest. And now we're going to count back. Least, greatest, least, greatest, and 12 is the number that is physically right in the middle of that set of data. So 12 is our median. Okay? Now we're going to find our mode. We're going to look at our set of data and we're going to say, okay, which number occurs the most often? Well, there's only one number that's repeated twice. All the other numbers are just one time in the set of data. So the number that occurs the most is 12. So it is our, mode. Most, our mode. Okay? And then we're going to find our range by taking the biggest number and subtracting the smallest number. So the biggest number in our set of data was 21. The smallest number in our set of data was 10. So to find our range, we take 21 minus 10, so our range is 11. So there we found our median by putting them in order least to greatest, finding the number in the middle, our mode by finding the number that was repeated the most, and then our range by subtracting the biggest minus the smallest number in the set of data. So now let's look at another one. We have the set of data 6, 9, 2, 4, 3, and 7. So first we're going to find our median. We have to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. So our least number is 2, then 3, then 4, then we have a 6, a 7, and a 9. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have all our numbers in our set of data. So now we're going to count back and we're going to find the number exactly in the middle. Least, greatest, least, greatest. Uh-oh, it looks like we have two numbers that are going to be in the middle. So when you have two numbers that are in the middle, you have to find the number that would be exactly in the middle of them. You can do that by adding those up. 6 plus 4 is 10, and then dividing by 2. That gives you the number that's right in the middle of two numbers. Well, we can look at 4 and 6 and know that 5 is right in the middle, but there will be some that you can't. And in that case, you have to divide their sum by 2. So our median would be 5. 5 is right in the middle of 4 and 6, of course, and we figured that out right here also by dividing by 2 and getting that our median was 5. Now the mode. Mode is the one that's repeated the most. Well, there were no numbers that were repeated. So in this case, there is no mode. Sometimes you won't have any mode at all. Mode is the only one that you can have two of, or you can have none of. You always have a median, you always have a mean, you always have a range, but sometimes there will be no mode at all, okay? So in this case, there is no mode because there's no number that's repeated the most. And then to find our range, we're going to take the biggest number in our set of data, in this case was 9, and we're going to subtract our smallest number in our set of data, in this case was 2. 9 minus 2 is 7, so our range is 7. So our median ended up being 5. We had no mode, and then our range was 7, our biggest minus our smallest number in our set of data. So now we have another set of data, 13, 7, 9, 7, 13, and 8. So the first thing we're going to do is find our median, which is our middle number, so we have to put them in order from least to greatest. So we have 2 7s, an 8, a 9, and 2 13s. Now we're going to count back. Least, greatest, least, greatest. We have the same thing again. We have two numbers that would be in the middle, so we have to find the number that would be right in the middle of 8 and 9. So if we add up 8 and 9, 8 plus 9 is 17, and divide 17 by 2, it goes in there 8 times. With 1 left over, we got to add that 0.0 and bring it down. Bring up our decimal, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So 8.5 would be right in the middle of 8 and 9. That makes sense, huh? 8.5 right in the middle of 8 and 9. So 8.5 is our median. Okay, 8.5 would be right in the middle of 8 and 9. So you can read that. Okay, so now we'll find our mode. We'll find the number that's repeated the most. Well, if we look, we have 2 13s. It's repeated, but we also have 2 7s. So guess what? We have two modes, 7 and 13. Remember, like I said up here, sometimes you'll have no mode at all. Sometimes we'll have two of them. Sometimes you'll have one. Okay? And then we'll find our range by taking our largest number, which is 13, minus our smallest number, which was 7 in this case. So our range would be 6, the difference in the biggest and the smallest. So our median was 8.5, our mode was 7 and 13, and our range was 6.